Maria Sánchez herself, who I'm assuming is joining us from her brand new yacht after signing that big contract. Congratulations, Maria. Show us the yacht. Give us a little sight there.
Unfortunately, I'm in Idaho, in ice cold Idaho right now. So no, but enjoying with my family. Obviously, it's a huge moment for me. Very happy to be in Houston. Very happy to extend my contract there, and very excited for what's to come.
All right, so the yacht's in the marina. The yacht's in the marina. We haven't opened it just yet. So talk to me about what this means. You know, when you hear Maria Sánchez has just signed the biggest contract in NWSL history, put into perspective, you know, how that feels for you.
Obviously it's very exciting. I know that women's soccer is growing, and probably within the next few days or weeks, somebody else is gonna break another record. So to me, I honestly just love being able to represent Mexican women's soccer and break those boundaries. I think there's little representation in the NWSL for Mexican women's soccer. So for me, I'm just very happy to be a leader in that and represent them the best way I can.
Maria, I'm curious about the free agency process, because that's something that's relatively new to NWSL. Walk us through it a little bit, explain kind of what you were considering, what your other options were, and then at the end of the day, why you decided to re-sign with Houston.
Yeah, I mean, I was a restricted free agent, so if any other team offered me a contract and Houston matched it, I'd have to stay in Houston. And there was interest from other clubs. But honestly, the effort that Houston made for me, and the trust and commitment they have for me, I couldn't say no. So yeah, I'm very excited, and want to give them back the most I can possible on the field.
So Maria, the Houston Dash have a special place in my heart. I'll take you back to 2014, the first year that the team was in existence. I was the original play-by-play voice of the Houston Dash. That was a long time ago, 9 years ago. And yet it's been just one trip to the playoffs since the team launched in 2014. How close do you guys feel to title contention, and what has to happen for you guys to get over that hump?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a very difficult thing to do in the NWSL, and I think last year we had a great year and we kind of had a taste of what it is to be successful as a club. And this year, I mean, it was mostly a struggle. So I think for the people that have been there the last couple of years, we know what each year feels like. We know what a successful year feels like, and we know what a year of struggle feels like. So I think we know what to work on. We know what to do to become a successful team, and obviously the investment that the club is making in the women's side is huge, and I think that will help us a lot on the field and off the field, the things that they're doing and the plans that they have. It's very exciting. So I obviously want to win championships in Houston and be a successful soccer player. So yeah, I'm very excited.
Maria, if we take a look at your CV, you have definitely not taken the traditional path to this big contract with the Houston Dash. I'm curious, though, about the very beginnings for you, kind of your youth soccer career. I was reading that you didn't play club soccer. Is that true? Because of the kind of financial restrictions for your family? That must have been incredibly difficult. So how did you get to be this good?
Yeah, so I had to play with boys growing up. I have a brother that's 6 years older than me, and I would play soccer with him all the time until he moved out for college. It was a huge struggle because my parents didn't really want me to play with boys. So most of the time I would have to play by myself. And then there's Idaho winters where you really can't play soccer outside. So I'd either have to break into this middle school gym that's right in front of my house, as well as the soccer field. But yeah, I mean, it was just a lot of struggles that made me appreciate playing the sport even more. And it makes me appreciate everything I've accomplished now even more. And especially coming back home and reliving everything. I honestly don't know how I did it to get that far. But I'm very, very happy I was able to.
So that's the beginnings kind of your amateur career. The beginnings of your professional career are also very interesting. You get drafted by Chicago Red Stars, NWSL, but you have to go to Liga MX Femenil to really kind of make a name for yourself. I wonder what that experience was like and how you might compare the quality between the two leagues, Liga MX Femenil and NWSL.
Yeah, I mean, NWSL is just a very competitive league all around. I mean, when I was here in 2019, there was only 9 teams and very little contracts. So, I mean, it was just really hard to get on a team, really hard to get a contract, and really hard to get playing time. But I knew that I wanted to come back and prove myself and represent Mexican women's football. So I took a couple years in Mexico. I went to play for Chivas. I went to play for Tigres. And obviously, there are teams that made me grow a lot. I think I had different roles in both those teams. And I mean, coming from Tigres at my second year there in Mexico, it was truly amazing. I think the club, the investment they make in women's soccer is incredible. I mean, it speaks to their 6 titles that they've won so far. So yeah, I mean, it was just an incredible time there, and it was really hard to leave. But for the ambition and goals that I have and had at the moment as well, I knew that I wanted to come to the NWSL, and that was my dream. I wanted to solidify myself as a soccer player here and represent Mexico.
You keep mentioning representing Mexico. Let's talk about the Mexican women's national team. We just had the draw for the W Gold Cup, the CONCACAF championship that's coming up next year. Mexico into the group with the United States and Argentina. You know, big picture, if we think state of the program, where do you think the team is right now ahead of this major tournament next year?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're in a moment of growth. I think the team has a lot of young players. But I'm very eager to see how we do. This year we were undefeated, and obviously we were in different tournaments where we were successful. But I'm excited to see us play these top 10 countries, these top teams that have been world champions, Olympic champions. So yeah, I mean, I'm very excited to see how we do against these teams and the growth that we've had over the years. And because I mean, women's soccer in general has grown so much, but I think with a new coach and everything that the federation has been doing for the growth of Mexican women's football, I'm very excited to see where we're at compared to these amazing teams.
That's a look to the future. We got a little bit take a look to the past. Obviously, it's a ways in the past now, but let's revisit the failed World Cup qualifying campaign. Now that you're a bit more removed from it, do you have a sense of kind of what went wrong, why you guys missed out on the World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a very tough time. I think, I mean, at the time it was just like emotionally very hard. But I think with the new coaching, the new staff that has come into the national team, I think that has helped a lot. I think the outside ideas that we have now have contributed a lot. I think you know, it was very difficult when we just had this cycle of the U20 coaches coming up to a senior national team in the same federation. I mean, it was just kind of the same ideas for cycles and cycles. So I was just very excited this last year where we finally decided to make a change and bring ideas from outside of the Mexican soccer world. So yeah, I think obviously it's not something you want to go through, and unfortunately I went through it twice. But it's something that I think has helped develop the Mexican women's soccer side more, and that hopefully in the future those things can be avoided.
All right, finally, Maria, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you about what we just learned about last week, which is the co-bid for the 2027 World Cup between the United States and Mexico. Just what were your first thoughts, and do you have any idea of kind of what that could potentially mean for the women's game in Mexico?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I think the fan base in Mexico that we see with some of the top teams and the people that they put into these finals and all these Clásico games, that's so exciting. And I mean, it'd be huge. amazing to have it in the two countries where I mean, the U.S. where I grew it up, and then Mexico where I represent the country. So obviously it would be huge. It would be amazing. And I mean, it would be a dream come true.
All right, there she is, Maria Sanchez, a Mexican international, and as of right now, the highest paid player in the National Women's Soccer League after inking a new deal with the Houston Dash. Maria, congratulations. Great to have you here with us.